punched myself in the face yesterday. Stay tuned and you'll get the rest of the story. So behind me you see my brother's bow. It just hit me this morning when I was on my computer. Today was April 2nd. And it's been 2 months since he passed away. So you could say I inherited his bow. So I decided that I'm going to dedicate this year's hunting season to my brother Stephen. And when I inherited his bow, I checked it out, and the story behind the bow is, as he had cancer and physically diminished in his stature, he wasn't able to pull his old bow back anymore. But still wanting to be able to hunt, he went down to the archery shop and they set him up with this bow that had a weight rating, I believe, of 40 to 50 pounds. Anyway, he never got a chance to hunt with the bow. So I got the bow, I looked it over, I says, okay, the draw's too short, which really told me he had shrunk, because we used to shoot the same draw length. We used to wear the same boots. But he always shot a little bit heavier than I did. At one point, he used to pull an 80-pound bow. I thought he was nuts. Anyway, so I took the bow down to the archery shop here locally in town, here in La Grande. And I says, I need to have this bow adjusted. I need the draw length changed out to fit me. and I need to put some heavier limbs on it so that I'd feel comfortable shooting elk. And he asked what weight I needed, and I told him I needed a range of 60 to 70 pounds. He says, okay. So I asked how much would that be. He said it's going to run about $200, $225 to change out the cams, to adjust the draw length, and change the limbs out. So in typical fashion of me not making a decision, I told him, well, I gotta go home and talk to the wife, run it by her, see if I get permission. Which is usually just my cop out to think about it for a while. But sometimes I do run it by Jamie. Anyway, when I went to the archery shop, before I got waited on, there were a couple customers in front of me. And when I took the bow in, one of the other customers standing there asked me how I like my no-cam bow. And I told him, well, to tell you the truth, I had never shot this bow yet. And in fact, I've been shooting fingers, which means you have an archery glove on your hand and you pull back on the line with your fingers like this. Grab it right there and pull back. I've been shooting fingers for over 35 years, and this was going to be new to me about using an archery release, which is this thing here with the little clippy thing on it. The way that works is you clip it right there and pull back on the string. Well, as you've been watching me shoot, it's been taking some adjustment for me to get used to. I don't know if I'll ever get used to this release thing or not, but I'm going to give it a shot. I'm dedicating the season this year to my brother, and I want to use his bow and hopefully get an animal for him. I think he'd be pleased. Anyway, as the guy listened to me tell my story about this bow and dedicating the season to my brother, I thought he was just being polite and listening to me ramble on in my grief. Well, I was wrong. A week later, I took the bow back, told him, let's do it. Let's get it done. Sorry, bugs are bothering me here. Let's get it done. And I says, you need me to pay up in advance? He goes, no, we usually just require a 50% deposit. So I pulled out my credit card, and he ran a $100 deposit, which is fine. I just paid the balance when I got back. Said it'd be a couple of weeks, and he'd have it ready. So I went by a couple weeks later, and I says, hey, just check to see if my parts ever came in yet. And he says, no, they haven't. But he needed to talk to me. We needed to have a chat. So this is okay. I'm thinking, oh, this is going to be bad. And he says, you remember the guy that was in here you were talking to when you first came in? Oh, got to show that. Deer walking by out there. It's coming in for a feeding. Some of our does are getting ready to drop some fawns, and they're getting hungrier. Anyway, I go, yeah, I remember him. He goes, well, he was really touched by your story, and he paid off the balance of your bill. That really caught me off guard, and it floored me. It wasn't like I needed somebody to pay that for me. He says, okay, I'll come back in a week or two. And I walked out to my truck, and I lost my composure. I was sitting there behind the wheel in the parking lot, and I totally lost it. Sorry, somebody's pulling in our driveway, and I don't recognize the vehicle. It looks like they're going to turn around. Anyway, I went home and thought about that. Is it, you know, that's not the way I was raised. You don't take that kind of charity. But the more I thought about it, I realized that he was making a contribution to the hunt that was going to be taking place in my brother's honor. The bow hunting brotherhood runs deep. Especially here in LeGrand. When the gentleman that sees this, because he's on my Facebook friend list now, I want to tell him thank you very much from everybody in our family. If you made it this far, you're probably wondering, what about the punching in the face? Well, I went to pull back my bow like this with the release. I was pulling it back, and I was pulling like this, and the release came undone all by itself, and pop! With all my strength as I was pulling that bow back, the release went, and I hit myself just like that. Rookie mistake, probably. But hey, I'm starting all over, learning how to use one of these newfangled bow contraptions after 35 years of old habits that need to be broken. Anyway, thanks for watching. If you liked the video, make sure you give it a like or a thumbs up on the YouTube channel. And think about subscribing if you like what you're seeing. Hopefully we're going to get a lot more videos as we get prepared for this year's hunting season, and maybe even having a success video if I get an animal in my brother's honor. Thanks for watching. Peace out.